There's one simple mistake that can cost a company millions in lost revenue, reputational damage, and leaked sensitive information. And most of the time, it's not the firewall, the antivirus, or the fancy security software that fails. It's a person, one employee, one careless action, one moment of inattention. Before we dive deeper, pause for a moment and subscribe to Global Security Digest. Every video here is designed to show you the real threats facing businesses and how to prevent them. This isn't theory. It's the reality of modern cybersecurity. Now, let's be clear. Companies get breached not because hackers are geniuses. They get breached because people make mistakes that hackers know how to exploit. And the most common mistake is human error. Human error can happen in countless ways. Clicking a link in a seemingly harmless email, downloading an attachment without checking it, reusing passwords across multiple accounts, or even accidentally sending sensitive data to the wrong person. These mistakes are simple, they're easy to make, and they're incredibly effective for attackers. The second most common tool attackers use is social engineering. Social engineering doesn't require sophisticated software or malware. It relies on manipulation. Hackers are excellent at reading human behavior. They know how to create urgency, fear, or curiosity. They know how to make a message feel official, convincing, and pressing. Imagine an employee receives an email from the company's IT department claiming their account will be deactivated unless they log in immediately. The email looks real. The logo is correct. The tone matches internal communications. All the employee has to do is click a link. That's it. And suddenly, the attacker has their credentials. Weak access control is another overlooked factor. Many organizations give employees more privileges than they need. Perhaps a marketing employee has access to HR records, or a finance contractor can view payroll data they shouldn't. Once an attacker gains access to one account, weak permissions allow them to move laterally across the network. What should have been a small, contained breach quickly becomes a company-wide disaster. Then there's multi-factor authentication. It's often ignored or inconsistently applied. MFA significantly reduces the risk of compromised accounts. But when it's missing, the door is wide open. One stolen password becomes enough to log in, bypass security, and exfiltrate data. Let's look at a real scenario. A mid-sized company had a single employee click a phishing link. That employee had access to the company's internal file server. Within hours, the attacker had copied sensitive documents, accessed emails, and gained the ability to reset other user passwords. The breach went unnoticed for weeks. By the time it was discovered, the financial and reputational damage was already done. One employee, one mistake, catastrophe. Now, you might think, that's just bad luck. I'm careful, but attackers aren't relying on luck. They rely on probability. If they target a company of 1,000 employees, all it takes is one person to make a mistake. That's enough. Phishing attacks are designed to exploit this. Studies show that even in trained environments, a small percentage of employees will click a malicious link. And hackers know this. They automate their campaigns, test emails against thousands of accounts, and wait for the one person who falls for it. Credential reuse amplifies the problem. If an employee uses the same password across multiple platforms, attackers can obtain it from a previous breach and test it against corporate systems. This method, called credential stuffing, is fast, automated, and extremely effective. Even sophisticated security software can't always detect it in real time. Social engineering doesn't stop at emails. Hackers use phone calls, text messages, even in-person visits to manipulate employees. They create scenarios where employees willingly hand over sensitive information or login credentials. They prey on helpfulness, trust, and routine. Let's not forget weak access controls. In many organizations, employees have permissions long after their role changes. Temporary contractors retain access indefinitely. Systems aren't audited regularly. A hacker who compromises just one account can move laterally, escalate privileges, and access data that should never have been exposed. MFA gaps are another critical vulnerability. Many organizations rely solely on SMS codes, which are vulnerable to SIM swaps. Hardware keys or authenticator apps are stronger, but adoption is inconsistent. Without proper enforcement, one stolen password is often enough for an attacker to gain full access. By understanding how breaches happen, organizations can implement layered defenses. Human error will always exist. but you can minimize risk by combining training, awareness, and technical safeguards. Employees need regular, realistic phishing simulations. Access control must follow the principle of least privilege. MFA must be applied consistently. It's also important to monitor systems proactively. Unusual logins, odd file access, and unusual account activity can all indicate a breach in progress. Companies that detect issues early can contain breaches before significant damage occurs. Remember, attackers don't need to be sophisticated to succeed. They exploit the simplest mistakes. One employee, one weak password, one missed warning. That's enough to compromise an entire organization. Now, if this video is helping you see the risks your company might face, take a moment to subscribe to Global Security Digest. Being informed is your first defense. Human error, social engineering, weak access control, and missing MFA are not technical failures. They are preventable mistakes. They require vigilance, awareness, and consistent policies. The more companies train, monitor, and enforce these measures, the lower the chance of a catastrophic breach. Finally, take action today. Train employees, audit access, enforce multi-factor authentication, and test your defenses continuously. One mistake can cost millions, but one proactive habit can save a company. Like this video if you learned something new. Comment your thoughts and share it with colleagues or business owners. Awareness is contagious, and it's the best defense against breaches. Stay informed, stay aware, and stay protected.